Chad is the place to be. Every day at 7 p.m. turn on your TV. You might see some things that you never see, but at the end of the day, it's reality. We talk about things that's good and bad, but it always stay good when you're chatting with Chad. We got spirit, got soul, got uplifting things, but you'll always be happy with the joy he brings. He's one of those guys, he's one of a kind. Any problems that you have, just keep them in mind. Before you know, he'll be there right by your side. It's almost like he's a spirit sent from the sky. It's the Chattin with Chad. It's the Chattin with Chad. It's the Chattin with Chad. It's the Chattin with Chad.
The Chad with Chad Show.
Hi, I'm Chad. Let's come visit my friend Chris at Platinum Cutz. Okay, so we're here at Platinum Cutz, Chris Walker's barbershop. We're here talking to you about your business and how you guys started. Graduating from Ball High, did you ever think that you were going to be here having your own business?
No, not at the beginning. I just, like many of young kids, didn't have an idea of exactly what I wanted to do. But eventually, I say this business chose me rather than me choosing it. I was just at a friend. I was Donnie Russell. He went to Ball High, and he had some clippers that was just sitting on the table. That I picked them up, and just so happened I was good at it. So it chose me, and it's just a career that I just enjoy.
So from that point forward, you knew that this was what you wanted to do.
Absolutely.
What were you like as a student?
I think I was a pretty good student. I was a jokester. I kept, I kept things. I was always Sherman, my best friend. He would always tell me to get things going, so we'll steal an extra 5 minutes before class. So, but I got my work done. I got my work done. And high school was the best time of my life. I wish I could do one more year.
Really?
Right now today, I wish I could do one more year.
So since you said that, what was your most memorable moment?
My most memorable moment, as far as academics, my algebra teachers and Coach Mack, he taught woodshop.
Really?
Yeah, and I played basketball, so basketball was the highlight of my high school.
So Coach Mack made the best impression on you?
Yes, Coach Mack did. Yeah.
What in particular did you like about him?
He's passed away now, but his charisma, man, and you can tell he just loved us, man. And there was a whole big group of guys that I grew up with that was in his class, and he kind of like fathered us. Everybody, just didn't have a father growing up, me being one. And he was like a father to us.
So that's what you really...
That's what I remember. And when he passed, I cried like he was my father. Yeah, I still think about him right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Being in this shop where clientele abounds, describe in words how you feel about your fellow barbers.
Oh man, I love them like brothers. And actually, when they came here, I tell them we're family. We're family, and we've been here. Clint's been here for he'd have to tell you better, quite a few years. Ray came right after the storm, and never no arguments or nothing. It's like just fun, just working with these guys. And I just love them.
Yeah. So what trials did you have building, like you say, building this?
It was a lot of work at the beginning. I used to have to get up early to help. The fortunate thing, before I moved here, I was on Market, 26th and Market at Joyce Hair World. She gave me my first opportunity working in the shop, and I stayed there for 9 years, and then it was time for me to venture on. It was really scary for me to move on. It was just going out the unknown. You know, I was still young at the time,
Yeah.
and just to move from there out on your own, you know, it's just the unknown that scared me. But it's one of the best things I could have done. It's a wonderful thing. Giving Ray and Clint just the opportunity to come in and nurture them like someone nurtured me. You know, I love it.
What was your greatest triumph in this business of being a barber? Your greatest?
Actually, I'd have to say it's still continuing. Being here for over 15 years, that's to
Has
me.
it been 15 years?
It's been over 15 years.
Over 15.
Over 15 years. I'm going into my 16th year, so I think that's the greatest.
Greatest.
Yes.
What was your worst failure?
My worst failure. Early on, not being the mentor that I feel that I could have been at the time when I had a lot of younger clientele. I did some, but I didn't do all that I think I should have done. So I think about that and I try to make up for it.
So if you had something else to do as a career, what would it be?
Whew. That's a good one, Chad. It'll have to be something with working with people. It'll have to be working with people, you know, because I love people. I'm just a people person, and I always have been. So it'll have to be something with people. 80% of me would like to say something in teaching, but 20% knows how hard it is. Yeah, dealing with kids. But you know, I get to be around the kids here, and you know, so I think I probably could make that transition, but I wouldn't want to. But if I had to do something, hopefully I'll just fade out being a barber.
You have this attitude of genuine concern. What does that emanate from? What does that come from? That genuine concern of people?
You know, I was just brought up like that. I grew up in Parkland, and I've heard a lot of things about growing up in Parkland, but it's a lot of nurturing going on there. When I was there, you had the elderly took care of us. You know, we knew what was right from wrong, from our mother to the lady next door. Miss Ida seen me doing something I ain't had no business doing. Oh, I'm gonna feel it. At least twice, from her and my mama, at least.
Fill in the blank. No matter what happens to me, blank has my back.
God has my back. I talked to my friend this morning, and that's what we talked about. That's who I rely on. I rely on him. In secondary, I go to my family. They've always been through that. They, you know, withstood. I wasn't always this guy, you know, and my family has always been there for me, and I love them. So I'd say my family.
Your family. Your family sees you as dad, brother, best friend, husband, and your clients, your customers sees you as Chris, a good barber, someone who cares. Who are you?
I am just that I'm the person that individually cares about people that come in here, about their well-being. You know, it's funny because you look at barbershop and you see the guys that come in here don't have the money, you know, and we are the type of people that we take care of those people because we know it'll be reciprocated. If we give 100% of ourselves, I believe the clientele will give 100% back to us. Everybody's not going to be able to have that money on that day. And you just got to trust that they'll come back. If not, it's okay because somebody else will make up the difference. The world have a way of just balancing itself out, you know, and that's just what we do.
You know, I did some research on your shop, and you are one of the most visited barber shops in Galveston. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that it was that you could research that. You know, I would like to think that. Yeah, I'd like to think that. That's a good thing. And I always tell them, the person you are is who you are when I'm not looking. That's who you are. When I'm looking, it's easy to pretend to be somebody else, but when you walk out those doors, that's who you are.
you were one of the most visited shops in Galveston. Why do you think that's so? Why do you think?
Just basically what we put out here, you know. It don't just stop within these walls. Actually, it starts within these walls. And every time someone comes in, whatever impression we give them, they take out. And it just spreads, you know, it's like a virus or something. So we like to give the good energy out, and then when they take it outside, they tell somebody else, and hopefully it'll create more clientele for us.
If you had a piece of advice to give a young girl or a young man, what would it be?
Respect yourself. Insist that others do the same. You know, I have boys and girls. I have a boy and I have girls. My first thing is respect. You know, you're gonna respect me, then I'll respect you. When you walk out the doors, be in my house, you demand respect. And I always tell them, the person you are is who you are when I'm not looking. That's who you are. When I'm looking, it's easy to pretend to be somebody else, but when you walk out those doors, that's who you are.
Wow. Keep that in there. I like that. I like that. Wow. So that's who you are.
And that's who I am.
What makes your shop so unique?
Again, I keep going back to the barbers. And I think it's number one, we do quality work. When I first started off here, I called it the shop. I've upgraded to Platinum Cutz. So we give the best haircuts around.
If you had the power to change anything in the world, what would it be?
Hatred.
What about hatred would you change?
I would change just the way that people just would look at a person and hate them. I have no reason just to look at a person and hate them, just from the way that they look. And I'm offended when I see somebody like that. It saddens me, and then it angers me that someone can just look at someone and say they don't like them. My thing is, when I first see somebody, I like them. They have to change that. When I first see them,
You like them.
I like them.
So there's no prejudiceness
No,
with you.
no. And it's funny, when I first started out, I had Asian couple. I had every type of customer that you could imagine. And that's what makes us us. Just having a variety of people come through here, you know. I don't believe any one business can fully prosper off of one type of person coming in.
I agree. And that was, in my research, that too was in there. All different types of people came through here. And from experience, this is what I know. From experience, the shop is more than just a barber shop. People come here to vent. They come here to talk about politics. They come here to talk about God. They come here to talk about relationships, love, religion.
Everything, you know, and I encourage, that's one of the things we try and do. We've had done research, no, not research, but we work with Dave Mitchell when he done prostate awareness, telling people about prostates. We've done different things with campaigning, you know. And I know everybody not going to vote like I vote, but I think it's important for them to vote and to respect other people's vote, no matter what it is. So we encourage, no matter who comes in here, what political party, but just to vote, because it's important, you know. Quite naturally, I'd rather vote who I like to vote for, but hey, if it don't, but I think they need to vote, and it's fair for everyone like that.
Define success. How would you define success?
I think it's crazy that you might not understand this, but how many people was at my funeral? It's I'll define it. I won't be there, but the amount of people there, that'll tell me how good I've been between here and there. My work is just my work. After a certain period, if you didn't take a picture, you'll no longer see my haircuts.
You know, it's just flowing. Now that you said that, when someone reads your eulogy, what is it that you want to be said about you after you have passed away? What is it that you want people to know about you? What is it that you want to be in the world?
First thing I would like for people to hear is that he took care of his family, he loved his family. He did everything he could for his family. That's what I live for, first. And, you know, the way I raise my kids, and that's the same standards I want for every other kid that comes through here. You know, I don't want to tell them the wrong things. I don't want to be a bad example for them, you know. So, and as you get older, you know, you grow more into that type of a person. So I just want to be sure that I'm a good example for anybody that I cross, you know. That's one of the biggest things for me, to be a good father, good husband, family man, and caring man, a good man.
What is it that you want your children and your wife to know that you had not told them, that you haven't told them? What is it that how do you really feel about that?
Oh, my family, that's really, you know, no words could really express how I really feel about them. You know, every day I get up with them in mind. Every single day when I get up, and as I'm getting older, I'm tired now. But I can keep going because I have them in mind. You know, and sometimes I may work too many hours, but I do it because I feel like it's the right thing that I have to do at that particular time, you know, for my family. So what I would like them to know is that when I'm not at home, I really would love to be, but I'm here because this is just where I know I need to be at the time.
What would be your advice to children who's at Ball High, who comes here regularly? What would you teach them about life in general?
Pretty much like this game that we're playing, you know. You don't just think about one move. You know, you think about your next move, you know. Just like in building your core classes, you know, you want to think about what class I need to take in order to get to where I'm going. So when you think about going to Ball High, you think about what's next. You know, what I'm going to do when I get there. Think about the whole course that it's going to take. And once you do that, you'll be a good chess player. You know, so don't think about one move, because your next move is more important than your first move.
I knew what I wanted to interview you. And this is really, seriously, as a black man, you is a mentor for me, really. Because there's very few black men who's come into work, have their own businesses, and really being the captain of their ship, their family. And that's really what I really appreciate about you. I really appreciate you taking out the time to be interviewed.
I appreciate your kind words. Thank you, Chad. Checkmate.
Thank you. This shop serves as a platform for people to really know who they are, what they can do, and where they're going. Okay, so we're here at Chris Walker's barbershop, Platinum Cutz. I'm here interviewing two Raymond Hackney, a professional barber here that has cut hundreds of people's hair. How is everything?
All right, Chad. All right.
How was it? You know, because we're here talking about education and school. How was it going to Ball High School? How was that?
Well, I had a lot of fun going to school. It just.
What about it made it so fun? What did you do?
Well, it was just my peers wasn't not getting no trouble. Just my peers and the teachers that just made it fun, and it taught me.
Who was your favorite teacher?
Mr. Singleton.
Mr.
Yeah, the Singleton and Coach Adams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? So what about them that you?
Well, Mr. Singleton stayed on me. You know, he showed more. He cared just a little more. You know, he always want to check up on you and see how you doing, or even if you was messing up in another class, falling asleep in class, he'll come pull you into talk to you.
Yeah. You know, I was talking to a teacher just the other day, and what I think Ball High is good for is validation, which we all need. And I get this from Oprah Winfrey. She says everyone has a need to be validated. They want to know, do you see me? Do you hear me? And does what I have to say matters to you? Is that the case with you? Do you think that they saw you, they heard you, and whatever you had to say mattered to them?
Yes, there's a certain, it's like there's a certain teacher that I feel that just did care of them, more. I mean, all of them did a good job, but it's just a certain handful they heard you.
Yeah. Just like, in the real world, certain people who just genuinely care. Being in this shop, in this notorious shop in Galveston, what is the experience like every day?
When I first got here, it was more of the shop that I came from. Here was more of a up tempo, kind of it was more laid back and an older crowd. But with the shop I used to work, when I came from. Here was a young mixed crowd, more different cultures, and it was it's something different every day, and just like going on, and when I first got here, I was really quiet because I just sit back and observe, what was trying to go on, what's going on, but it's good, really.
So, being a barber, being that we live in a world so corrupt and full of injustice and so many things happening all of a sudden, what scares you the most about being a barber? And being that this is a well-known shop that gets a lot of clientele, what scares you the most?
What scares me most really if, you get certain people, want us here by ourselves and somebody getting hurt. And that's my biggest thing, because, these barbers, Clint and Chris are well known. I just got here, and I wouldn't want, they here by themselves and thinking they got money, a lot of money on them and carrying a lot of money, and they come here and try to hurt one another.
What do you want your customers to know about you? What is the main thing you want them to know about you?
Of course, that if I see you trying and say you need help, advice, or you short, and I know you trying, I'll help. Don't be scared to ask. I'll help. Yeah, best that I can. Free haircut, pay me back later, or just you just need something that's in my power. I help if I know or see you trying.
Again, I ingeminate. This shop is one of the most visited shops in Galveston. What is it? Do you ever get tired let's say you have a customer and you're bone tired, and you see another client coming in. Do you ever say, "Oh man, do you ever get tired?"
yeah, but I mean, and it seems like it always be a customer. It's hard to tell them no because you've been knowing them and cutting them for a while, so it's kind of hard to say I'm closing.
What you say, Raymond? Let me know what you say. I need a haircut. Can you get my hair? What you say? Give me.
Okay.
I was
about to close, but I don't get you. That's all.
What is it that? What is your description of fun? A fun evening. What is a fun evening to you?
When these two guys, Chris and Clint, and these certain customers just come here, we just talk about just everything that's going on, and we used to play chess. Of course, we play chess, and it just really has been around them. Really, yeah.
What is it that you want to let them know that you have not ever told them about them? What is it that you want them to know?
That I look up to them like brothers, because I don't have no older brothers. I look at them like older brothers. I learn a lot from both of them.
How so? In what ways?
Well, like I have a 2-year-old daughter, and I watch Chris when he, the things that he do with his kids and how they've been successful in school, and I just want the same thing for my daughter. And I ask him about certain things. I talk to him about just, personal things. I talk to him, but I won't talk to nobody else. And with Clint, he'll be the front big brother, to laugh and to joke and play, But, of course, I talk, serious things when I'm having, kind of problems.
There are several children at Ball High visit this place, visit the shop. What is it that you do? What is it that you implement and do to give them advice, to teach them? What do you do to encourage them out in the community?
Well, I always, a lot of kids that come here, what I always try to tell them is that, just do what's right. You know the difference between right and wrong. So, you might have people that's gonna stand in your way and try to,
Yeah.
You just gotta keep forward. I know it's hard because you gotta like your peers, your peer pressure, and just go to school. And just go to school and do your business.
What else? What else is it that you do? What have you done in the past with children? What is it that you have done in the past with children at Ball High?
At Ball High, I remember before the storm, we had even here, we did it here a few times, but did like customer appreciation, and what I did when the song came, and for the kids, and they were, found it was, say mom was doing, we're doing this good. I was cutting, half for free. I was at a friend of mine, I was in the month, and people was calling me, and I just did that as one of my ways of trying to give back. That's all I could do at the time.
You seem as though your life is a lot of fun, being that you work here, interacting with the community. Do you feel that your life have purpose?
Oh yeah, of course, and it's funny because it took me. It's like it took me up to now to kind of saying that. I kind of realized it's a lot of people that look up to me that I didn't think, because I'm pretty still I'm still young, and I'm just realizing now that there's a lot of people that come to, hey Ray, and so asking questions about how you go about going to barber school and what can you do? Can you show me this? It's different.
What makes Galveston and Galveston's school district, Ball High, so special from all other school district?
Of course, well, it just grew up, but I don't know, it's just different. It's kind of hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I guess it's something just grew up there, and it's home.
That's home.
Yeah.
If you had anything in the world to change, what would it be?
The song Hurricane come.
Why?
Because it took a lot from us. It took a lot, and a lot of people that moved and can't come back to Galveston, and that want to come back, but for certain reasons they can't. But it's different. Like even the population that attended about high. A lot of students that moved, and couldn't just come back or nowhere to stay, and that'd be my.
I think it's interesting that you said that, because do you know that tomorrow is the anniversary of Hurricane?
I knew it was coming up.
Yeah. Who do you love?
My family, but it's I just can't say it. I got family and close friends that I say I love, and I can't really just. It's just kind of questions to ask, I got close friends that I can only say that it's just like it's family to me. Just I got a best friend, and one day I went to go, I was stuck on the side of the road, and I was staying in Houston some years back. He came way from where he was out of his sleep and come get me.
That's a friend.
Yeah, the middle of the night. So, wow. That's just like one of the things, and then a person that he'll give you his last, see.
Define success. What is your definition of a successful person?
I could say my definition of a successful person is Chris Walker.
How so?
It just when I came here, the first one I came here, and we had a campaign, and I never seen any business barbershop that I worked. I never seen nothing like that, and it just wowed me. And the people that showed up and supported for the support. And then when the mayor of Galveston came, Joe.
The mayor?
Yes. When he came,
that's pretty big.
I never, my first time in my life, ever been that close to
a mayor.
The Galveston, and that just kind of just wowed me, And over the years of being here, I was just looking at Chris just the way how he take care of his business for shop, like you said, captain of the ship, being a captain of the ship.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, it's just inspired me.
Yeah. And I think it's all because of his roots.
Yes.
And your roots, and Ball High and Galveston's school district that molded him to this. Because at a certain age, you already have your personality on. So I think he knew what he wanted from the get-go, and he's bestowing that on his fellow barbers and the people in the community. That's a beautiful thing. I think that this shop serves as a platform for people to really know who they are, what they can do, and where they're going. And I really do appreciate you coming in and having this interview and sitting with me and the whole 9 yards. Now it's time for me to get my hair cut by Chris Walker.
Times get hard. You better wipe your tears. Give God all your fears. See, life is not easy, but times get hard. Keep your head up, stay strong, and have faith in God. He's straight out of G-Top, born and raised where it goes now. He came from the bottom, but look where he at now. Long as you believe, then you will achieve. Don't ever let nobody come between you and your dreams.